I get so aggravated at these devices and the claims, the false claims that they make that sound very much like the claims that we've made, but they're not true.
Wow.
You go onto the website for instance, that device, and so they're onto a tiny portion of what you learn in a comprehensive get to the root of it and fix it program like ours. They're into onto a tiny portion of it. So I'm not going to do, it's not worth throwing out completely. What
Right.
it can do is it can begin with breath work to add some direct force to that area, which again, you don't have to do that. For some women, that's traumatic and painful. If you've had
Yeah.
stitches or you've been abused, like you don't want anything
Mm,
doing that. So if it's painful, don't do it. And it doesn't have to be that way. If you love it,
mm,
what that's getting to is that beginning of softening that hypertonicity for
mm,
those women who have that
mm,
over-type pelvic. So
mm,
I understand where they're coming from, and it's not totally wrong. But you go on the website and it claims to add functional strength. How is it adding functional strength? There's no exercise.
no, it is.
So it's providing some kind of release. But again, for many women, it's going to be painful. For many women, that could be re-triggering if they've been abused or had birth trauma. So
Yeah.
you know yourself and know your body and trust, make sure you vet and trust the place where you're receiving care for such a vulnerable area. So
Mm,
that's
totally.
not, it's not
Mm,
total crap
mm,
again, but
yeah.
some of the claims that they're making are not founded and it's not right for everybody
Yeah.
because of the directness of that treatment and how it could be painful or triggering. Does that
Totally.
make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And the same is it
Mm-hmm.
similar with the
Mm-hmm.
Fit wand? That was like that big, it was, I remember it came out a long time ago and it was like this big Canadian thing that then the US bought, and it's just a little, it looks like a dildo basically, and
Yes.
red light on it, right? And then
Yeah,
you just,
which I mean, we're all in agreement about the benefits of red light. Like,
yeah.
absolutely, like that's not in
Yes.
question at all. Like, so on the one hand, again, on the one hand, I'm like, isn't it great that there are all these options? And you
Yeah.
read the reviews on these things, and many women have been helped by it. So that is awesome. Like, if that's what you're called to do that thing. However, you know, I don't really have any interest in penetrating myself with and if you have little kids and
Yeah.
you'd like to
Right.
you'd like to heal this area, how hard is it to find the time to go in your room by yourself, take your
For
clothes
10
off,
minutes or yeah.
shove something up there? And again, if that tissue has been traumatized, that is not a safe way for you to do this. Again, but for some women, they're like, "Oh my God, I love this thing." Well, that's great. Like, keep doing
Yeah.
it if it's working for you. However, yeah, the women who come to work with us have tried those devices or are not willing to try them.
Yeah.
And they want something that's fully external that they can do with their clothes on, with their kids present,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
feels good to do, that's never going to be triggering, that doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Those are the women who end up working with us. So I'm all for every woman finding what they feel called to, especially to heal a vulnerable area like this. But take everything, on that website, it says non-invasive. Like,
It's pretty invasive.
how is that non-invasive? Like, that's where I just get so angry. I'm like,
Right,
that is
right.
not non-invasive.
Well, what is the definition of invasive? Like cutting you open? Yeah, no,
Well,
I
Right,
mean, it's
what's
not that
invasive then?
invasive,
Right.
but it's
right. I mean,
like,
to me, like shoving something that's pretty invasive. So, like, this is where I get so aggravated. I'm like, we say non-invasive, but like, we actually mean it.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
hysterical.
right,
Yeah.
right, right, right.
You
No, I
Oh
can see how
goodness.
that could be problematic for people. I hadn't really thought of that before too. Yeah. So I mean, obviously your
Yeah.
approach is so, yeah, so great. Like this sounds like kind of a godsend for people who are really struggling with this issue, you
This
know.
is the words women share with us all
More
the time.
holistic. It seems very
It
holistic
is
in the sense of
incredibly holistic. Yes.